flow, erratic is the nicest. With Opus production, these Jews are priceless. You can try us and get that body beat lifeless. Beats on points, lyrics sharp just like a knife is. Drag a body to the part, show my tripe life gets. Most rappers cry about how nice they ice is. Street thugs take lives, forget about who Christ is.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Short Fuse here, and today I'm going to be doing a Third Strike Makoto in-depth beginner trial tutorial. Here we're going to be taking a look at her trials and, most importantly, dissect the infamous 100% stun combo, which is trial 5, and make sure that you get all the necessary info and know-how in order to complete it successfully. Alright, let's get it started. Trial 1, as basic as it gets, but like most first trials, it gives you an idea of the speed with which you cancel normals into specials. Standing short, which is a light kick, quickly followed by quarter circle forward punch. Piece of cake. Trial 2. The Karakusa is one of Makoto's most important techniques / combo starters. Therefore, it's detrimental that you absolutely master the timing for the follow-ups. Okay, half circle backwards kick. Different strengths control the grab's range. Now you have to wait for Makoto to release a grip on the opponent before pressing the standing heavy punch. So she needs to let go of their lapel. Now all there's left to do is hit him with a heavy punch quickly followed by X Hayate. Make sure you practice the timing between the Karakusa and the standing fist. You need to get consistent with it. Trial 3. Okay, so this is where things start to get a little more serious. This trial is a great opportunity to talk a little bit about how things work in Third Strike. When you first take a look at the trial description, it's pretty straightforward. You jump in with a heavy kick, standing medium punch, light kick cancel into Hayate, and then super. But if you're gonna approach this with a Street Fighter 4 mentality, it just isn't gonna work. Street Fighter 3 requires timing and precision, and especially when it comes to Makoto. Now the first thing we're going to need to learn and understand is the jump heavy kick linked with standing medium punch. The jump heavy kick needs to connect very low to the ground. If you connect too early, like you would in Street Fighter 4, the enemy will be out of hit stun before you touch the ground and the medium punch will get blocked. It's a good idea to relearn the jump in timing from scratch. When you play Third Strike, make sure that you're in the Third Strike mindset and forget about everything else, especially this gen's fighting games with their overly liberal ways. So again, jump heavy kick very low to the ground. As soon as you land, do the standing medium punch. Practice until the timing gets in your blood. Keep an eye on the combo counter and make sure it says 2 hits. Alright, once your jump heavy kick standing medium punch is consistent, we can move on. Now we're going to be adding the light kick 1-frame link. Makoto's standing medium punch gives enough hit stun so that you can sneak in a light kick before the opponent fully recovers. All you can do for this is practice and repetition. There's no way around it. It's a 1-frame window of opportunity, and the conscious human brain struggles with processing information at such fast rates. However, us humans are generally good with rhythm, and that's what you'll be doing. Subconsciously tap to a precise interval, so you're going to have to rely on muscle memory and feel. You don't think 1-frame links, you feel them, and you only get the feel for it through repetition. But once you get it, you got it for life. It's like riding a bike. The only thing that can help you is watching the opponent's animation, and after seeing it enough times, you'll begin to remember at what stage of the animation will the link occur. After that, we're going to add the Hayate. Condition yourself so that as soon as you press light kick, you follow it with a Hayate. They're like a package deal. Combos are not always just about technical skill, but a big part of it is mental perception. It's how you perceive the combo in your head. So think of it as a 2-parter instead of a long string of very precise links. So part 1 is jump heavy kick, standing medium punch, very slight pause. Part 2, light kick, quarter circle forward, light punch. Don't think of it as light kick and then Hayate. Think of it as one move. And don't wait to see if the light kick will link with the medium punch before doing the Hayate, because it'll probably be too late. Do it as if you know it would link every time, even if at first it won't. Like I always say, when practicing combos, always assume you get all your links right. Keep practicing this initial part until you get consistent at it. And now for the finale, we're going to add the Seichusen Goranzuki. Make sure that you don't make the mistake of initiating the super as soon as you do the hayate. You need to take a pretty big pause. The pause is long enough for you to go to neutral and start a separate quarter circle forward punch motion. The super is not cancelled into. Instead, it takes advantage of the hit stun from the hayate. And that's your window of opportunity before the opponent recovers back to a regular standing position. The pause before the super is deceivingly long. Trial 4. This one is pretty easy, but it looks good, deals a lot of damage, and is fun to do. We're going to start with a Karakusa standing heavy punch into Super 2. Okay, so in Super Street Fighter 4 and onwards, the point of impact of the Abare Tosanami is determined by holding either weak, medium, or strong kick after you do the quarter circle forward 3 kicks. In Third Strike, on the other hand, you determine the distance based on which kick you did the super with. So quarter circle forward light kick is very close. Medium kick is medium distance. Heavy kick is far. Note, not even the heavy kick will link if you're dead center of the frame or close to that. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's do the Karakusa, and as soon as she lets go of the opponent, do a heavy punch. The heavy punch will come out with a slight delay, and the move itself has quite a few frames of animation, which gives you plenty of time to do the quarter circle forward kick. Don't wait for the heavy punch to connect to initiate the super. Make sure you start the quarter circle forward motion while the animation of the karate chop is still active, and press light or medium kick around the time it connects. This is going to start the super. One tricky part when it comes to follow-ups after the Super 2 is that you don't really see what's going on the ground because the opponent gets launched in the air and the camera follows him. This will be even more noticeable in the next and final trial, so practice by just doing the Super 2 and hold up forward the entire time so that she will jump automatically as soon as the game allows her to. And then very quickly after she leaves the ground, do a quarter circle backwards kick in the air. This will launch the opponent again while you're already beyond the ground. Now all that's left to do is 2 hayates in a row. I suggest you go with the heavy punch version. Do the first hayate as soon as she touches the ground and the second one as soon as the game lets you. Alright, here we go, trial 5. This is the one that most people have trouble with. And the most common complaint is that the last Fukiage won't connect. And here's the reason why. Unless you make the first Fukiage a Kara Fukiage, you will not find yourself in the proper position for the follow-up light Fukiage. But let's start from the beginning. First, we're going to learn the combo from scratch. And after that, we're going to add a Kara. First, let's get a few basic things out of the way to avoid unnecessary frustration. Number 1, heavy punch cancel into Super 2. As soon as you press heavy punch, you need to initiate the quarter circle forward motion, meaning heavy punch immediately followed by down, down forward, down forward kick. The standing heavy punch has a lot of frames of animation, so there is plenty of time to input the super. Just make sure that you don't wait for the heavy punch to actually make contact with the opponent. Initiate the quarter circle forward motion before it hits. Number 2, here are the charts for the Super 2 distances. In Third Strike, the point of impact of the Abare Tosanami is determined by which kick you do the super with. So if you're in the corner, you can do it with a light or medium kick. If you're about one dash away from the corner, you can do it with a medium kick. And anything further from the corner will require a heavy kick. Unless you're dead center, in which case nothing will connect. Just remember that when I say corner, I'm not talking about the actual corner on the stage, but rather the corner relative to the camera's position. Wherever the border of the frame at any given time is, that's your corner. That's what Makoto will use to bounce off of. Okay, now that we got these basic things out of the way, we can begin. Okay, in the corner, half circle backwards punch. As soon as she lets go of the opponent, press heavy punch. While the animation of the heavy punch is active, quickly input quarter circle forward light kick. This will initiate the super. Now here you can dash extremely early, so much so that it doesn't even feel like the dash is gonna come out at all, since Makoto's only about halfway through the animation of the super. Watch the bottom right window and take a look at how early I initiate the dash. It's way before the last hit of the super makes contact. The knowledge that the dash will come out on its own while the animation of the super finishes gives you a chance to recollect your thoughts and frees your hands to start getting ready for the medium dragon punch. This will be especially useful later when we're going to be doing the kata fukyage. Now remember, after the dash, we're going to find ourselves on the opposite side. So if we started the combo facing left, now we're going to be doing a dragon punch facing right. So 6, 2, 3, medium punch. Make sure that you don't do the medium punch way too early, or it will become active before the opponent reaches Makoto and won't hit him. And also make sure that you don't do it way too late, or the opponent will get bounced backwards over Makoto's head. We don't want that. Dash comes out on its own after Makoto can move again, and then do the medium dragon punch, not too early, not too late. After the opponent gets flinged in the air one last time, you're gonna dash again. Learn the timing for the dash. Make sure you dash as soon as the game lets you. But don't do it too early either, or the dash won't get registered. You can practice the timing on its own by doing a standalone dragon punch, and then seeing how quickly after it you can dash. And now you're going to find yourself yet again on the opposite side. So finish off with a 4-2-1 light punch. Now the last fukyage will whiff, but that's okay. Make sure you learn the combo first. This one has a few sections that require very precise timing, so make sure it gets under your skin. Make sure you do the first dash extremely early, and make sure you learn to do the second dash as soon as the game allows you to. And make sure you learn the timing for the last fukyage. It needs to happen the instant you dash. The dash plus light fukyage feels like one cohesive move. Forward, forward, back, down, back, light punch. Okay, now practice this combo until the whole thing becomes second nature. Once it does, adding the kara will be nothing but a minor adjustment. Okay, so what exactly is the kara? When a move is karaed into, it means that you're canceling the animation of a regular attack into a special before it makes contact. So the purpose of the regular attack, in this case the heavy kick, is not to connect with the opponent, but to get you closer to him or to realign your position. In layman's terms, the heavy kick on whiff will make Makoto take a slight step backwards in the initial part of the animation. Now if we cancel that into a fukyage fast enough, the fukyage will occur on the same meridian, so Makoto will automatically be forced to take a step backwards before doing the fukyage. Now the input for this is not standing heavy kick quickly followed by forward, down, forward punch. The proper input is forward, down, forward, go to neutral, take a very slight pause, and then press heavy kick followed by medium punch in a planking fashion. It's mandatory that you go to neutral after the forward, down, forward. And it's also mandatory that you take a very slight pause. If you linger on down forward and press heavy kick, Makoto will do a crouching heavy kick roundhouse move. And if you linger on forward instead of neutral, she will be getting the inputs for the forward heavy kick command move. And last but not least, the heavy kick medium punch need to be planked, meaning they need to be pressed in extremely quick succession. The way to do this is to position your fingers as if you would want to hit both heavy kick and medium punch at the same time. Only elevate the finger you use to hit the medium punch oh so slightly, so that it hits milliseconds after the heavy kick does. This is not a tutorial on planking, so if you want to learn the nuances of it, I suggest you read up on it online. I'm sure there's plenty of tutorials out there. But here's 2 techniques you can try. Number 1, position your ring finger over the heavy kick button and your middle finger over the medium punch. Now lift the middle finger slightly and keep your hand frozen in that position. Lift your hand and slam it down, as if you would want to hit both heavy kick and medium punch at the same time. But since the middle finger is slightly lifted, it will hit a few milliseconds later. When your hand's slamming down, make a conscious decision to focus on hitting the heavy kick first. The medium punch is just an afterthought, sort of like an unavoidable collateral effect. Your main goal is hitting the heavy kick. The medium punch gets triggered because your middle finger's in the way. Keep your middle finger loose. Second technique. I curl my thumb like this and tuck it under my palm, as if to create an obstacle, and hit the heavy kick with the bottom part. So when I go for the medium punch with the middle finger, it almost forces me to hit the heavy kick a few frames before it. Now do it on the ground first till you get some consistency. Forward, down, down, forward, neutral, heavy kick, medium punch. You know you did it right because you can see Makoto taking a step backwards. If this is your first time planking, it might take some time to get it right. Make sure you're consistent with it before moving on. If you don't have the kara under your belt, it's going to be even harder to do it with the added pressure of implementing it into the combo. Now since we already learned the full combo, replacing the first Fukiage with the Kara Fukiage shouldn't be a problem. And once you do that, the last Fukiage that's always with before will now connect and give us 100% stun. Let's go over it step by step one last time, starting from the right side and facing left. In the corner, Karakusa, as soon as she lets go of the opponent, heavy punch. In the split second you press heavy punch, start a quarter circle forward light kick, which will initiate the super. Now way before the last punch of the super connects, you dash forward. The dash will come out on its own as soon as the game will allow Makoto to move again. So use this time to recollect your thoughts and position your fingers for the Kara medium punch Fukiage facing right. Do the Kara Fukiage not too late, not too early. Opponent gets flinked to your right, not to your left. Now you need to dash as soon as the game will allow you to. And do the light Fukiage while facing left, again as soon as the game will allow you to. It's very important that you do the light Fukiage as soon as Makoto dashes. So much so that it doesn't feel like forward, pause, dragon punch, but instead feels like one continuous string of inputs. Forward, back, down, back, light punch. Now keep in mind that this is not an easy combo to do. There's a lot of very quick, complex, and precise inputs and timing involved. So don't get discouraged if you don't get it right away, but keep at it. As it's the case with most combos, you only need to get it right once or twice, even if by accident, to get a feel for the proper timing. So work on each of the parts individually, and then once you master those, you string them together to form the full combo. And most importantly, keep at it and be patient. Okay guys, this is going to be it for today. Hope this video was helpful. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to send me a personal message here on YouTube, and I'll try to help you out as best as I can. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.